Hari Om. Bhaj Govindam chanting verses 1 to 5.
भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते। सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति दुःकृन्करणे। मूढजहि धनागमतृष्णां गुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा। यल्लभसे निजकर्मोपातं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तम्। नारीस्तनभरनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा मागामोहावेशम्। एतन्मांसवसादिविकारं मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारम्। नलिनीदलगतजलमतितरलं दद्वज्जीवितमतिशयचपलम्। विद्धि व्याध्यभिमानग्रस्तं लोकं शोकहतं च समस्तम्। यावद्वित्तोपार्जनसक्तः तावन्निज परिवारो रक्तः। पश्चाज्जीवति जर्जरदेहे वार्तां कोऽपि न पृच्छति गेहे।
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करमावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Said the effect of Bhajagovindam study or the purpose of Bhajagovindam study is to develop Vairagya. The purpose is to build this Vairagya. And Vairagya is one of the essential qualifications required for a person to grow spiritual. If you want to grow spiritual, then you have to develop this Vairagya. This Vairagya means just the disinterest or the, to be more particular, the disgust that you have for the things of the world. Now, when we say the things of the world, it includes all the lokas, all the worlds, from human to Brahmaloka, to all that the world can give you, all the pleasures that the objects can give you, you have a disgust towards it. That jugupsa is what is referred as Vairagya. The distaste, disinterest, the disinclination, or the better word is disgust to have. Now, disgust is not towards people, remember. Now, if you have disgust towards people, something wrong with you. Now, we are talking about disgust with reference to the objects. You hate that. The pleasures of life, you don't really appreciate. That is called Vairagya. And this Vairagya is to be practiced, says Krishna, every day. Nityam Vairagyam Samuparshrite says in the Gita. You have to practice this Vairagya every day. Now you can't say that I will have Vairagya for one and not for the other. I have Vairagya one day. One day Vairagya, 2 day Vairagya, salam won't work. This Vairagya should be practiced on a daily basis. Now this Vairagya, to develop, you need a particular outlook. The capacity to see what is wrong with the objects of the world, the pleasures that the objects seem to be promising to give you. These apparent promises given by the world of objects, the perception, the capacity to see that. How do you develop that? That's where this Bhajagovindam comes into picture. To develop that Vairagya. Therefore, Bhajagovindam is a text of the nature of Upadesha, not of Vada, not of Samvada text. You see, there are various texts written by Shankara, which were all expounding the philosophy, expounding the principle through analysis. That is called as Mimamsa Shastra. Technically, when we say Mimamsa means a inquiry into a subject of worthy nature. Inquiry into a subject which is deserving a deep reverence. A deep reverential subject inquiry is called Mimamsa. And in that Mimamsa, they have a methodology, analytical steps. There are steps in the analysis. So you find the expositions of Shankara explaining that particular methodology would be maintained in many texts, particularly the Bhashyas. If you take, he goes through steps. Typically, they will take one statement. A typical pattern would be this. They will take a statement first, and then questions will be raised by Shankara himself. Objections would be raised by Shankara himself. So Vishaya Vakyam will be there first. They'll take one statement, and then he will start posing very many questions on that. He will ask very many questions and say, you mean to say this is what you are saying? Does it mean this? Does it mean that? If this means that, this means this. This is the step 2, where they start posing questions. Then through that they establish the meaning. This is what the meaning is. Then what he will do is he will raise objections towards it. If you are meaning this, then what about this and all? Then arguments would be raised against. Then Shankara himself will give replies to that. He himself will give rebuttal to be given to that arguments. And then they conclude. Therefore, this is what the statement is. Therefore, the meaning that we have given is correct. So this is how the text would be evolving. Many of Shankara's works will be evolving like that. In Bhajagovindam, you will never see any one of that. Nor can you categorize Bhajagovindam in the Stotra, like Shivananda Lahari, Saundarya Lahari, and all those sort of texts. So Subramanya Bhujangam. There are many texts being written by Shankara. So there it would be like that. But there are few texts written by Shankara as Upadesha texts. Is the text which was given as an advice to the student. To which student? Again we ask the next question. To his Sishya. Sishya means what? The one who deserves to be taught is called a Sishya. Who is a student? Student is not anybody who comes. Now, anybody who comes and joins the Zoom class doesn't become a Sishya. That's what it means. All that you have to understand is that when you say Sishya, now what is the meaning of Sishya, sir? Sishya means what, sir? Sishya means the one who deserves to be taught. So, the students were classified into 3 sections in those days. They had the section of students who were called Jignasu. Means those who want to learn. Not just a casual, inquirer. Not when they get a chance to meet a person, ask him. There are people who ask, they go to somebody's house, for dinner they call. And this fellow happened to be sitting there in that house. So he sees. And the moment he sees, he will immediately ask, what is this, why does it in the temples where, why we should go to temple, the fellow asks. Now, it's not that he becomes a inquirer, please. No, that is curiosity. You see, that's not what is referred as Jignasu. Jignasu is the one who has the genuine thirst to learn. That's a Jignasu. Then comes the second category of student. The student evolves further. Next level. Student is referred as Antevasin. Antevasin means indweller. The one who lives inside. In the olden days, Gurukula, people will go into that Guru's house, they live with Guru and they learn from him. This is the second category of students who are known as Antevasin. Now there is a pun in that word, Antevasin. Don't take it only to refer student living with the Guru in his house. No, then what is it, sir? The student should be living inside that Guru's mind. He is known as Antevasin. The one who lives in the mind of the Guru. That is called Antevasin. Second category. Who is far, far superior. Of course, there are very many, subtle differences are there. How you graduate and all is there in that. You see, but what you have to understand now is we are going to the next level. One, how can you get into the mind of the Guru? How do you get in, sir? This is the second category. Students, how they get in, that is where they give this formula in the Gita. How do you gain this knowledge? He says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. How do you learn this knowledge? From those masters. What you have to do, sir? You have to go and prostrate through inquiry, through service. How do you graduate from a Jignasu to the level of Antevasin, sir? Through service. Through serving the master. Serving the Guru, the student gets into the mind of the Guru. That's not enough. He goes one step further, they say. One step further is called as Sishya. A very poor translation in English. Disciple, we say. Disciple is, in the first category itself, you will be called as a disciple, actually speaking. The term Sishya has a much more, connotation. Who is worthy enough to be taught is called a Sishya. I can't think of a better example than this for people to recognize. What is that Sishyahood, sir? Of course, in the Shastras and all, we have very many beautiful examples of Sishyas, the Upanishadic students, if you see, classical, demonstration, but very difficult for us to understand. Easiest one for you to recognize is the Shankarabharana movie. If you remember, that boy who goes to the master, there also that fellow's name was also Shankara Shastri, the guru. I don't know, somehow wherever they go, they keep only Shankara as a name. Guru means only Shankara. Says, what is this? The fellow is fast asleep. One of outstanding scene in that movie. Where Shankara Shastri is fast asleep. This boy comes. He sees the man sleeping. He goes and massages his feet. One of the redundant thing to be done. Because sometimes you may massage the feet of the master to facilitate him to go to sleep. You know that. If you are finding difficulty to sleep, you massage your feet, you get sleep. You know that. So that's why they give massage to the feet. And you massage your feet, the fellow goes to sleep. It relaxes, meaning sleep in the sense not sleeping, it is relaxing. So you go and massage. Now this man is sleeping already. Right? At least if he is awake, you massage, he knows that you are massaging. Now when he is sleeping, you massage, who will remember? You will not even know. But this boy doesn't care about all those things. He says, what? I go and massage, that's it. He goes and massages his feet. As he is massaging, he is practicing singing. He is singing also along with that. And halfway through, he gets stuck. He forgets the line. What is the next line? And this man is sleeping still. He is not woken up. Because of this sound, he is not waking up. He is still sleeping only, this man. And halfway through, when he gets stuck, from the sleep, he teaches. That is called a Sishya. Now, Shankara is having 14 disciples following him. Right? Sanatana is the first disciple who he got in the, as soon as he goes to Kashi, the first disciple for Shankara is Sanatana. And then, of course, there are others also joined. That 4 disciples you would be seeing, the 4, the Padmapada, Sureshwaracharya, and all these people you will see. Now, these 14 disciples who were around Shankara at that time, he feels they are worthy to be taught, to be instructed. Instruction towards what? Instructions to develop that vairagya, that distaste, that disinterest that you can cultivate. Now, our problem is, I don't want to cultivate that disinterest is what our stand is. This is what there is a difference. That's what I'm trying to explain. See, I don't want to get detached. I don't want that. I want to get more and more involved in the world. See, this is what we are going for. Today, spiritual training, spiritual education and all that is being done only for this purpose. Now, there are a few stories, I like the most. I would be repeating that any number of times. So inspiring that is. One such story is the story given by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He tells a story. One day it happened that a crow picked up one dead rat. A crow picked up a dead rat and started flying. As it was flying, suddenly about a herd of vultures started attacking the crow. Okay. herd, about 5-6 vultures started attacking the crow, and the crow was trying to escape, but they are not leaving. They are coming and picking the crow. At a point, the crow could not take the pain. It opened its mouth and the dead rat fell. And suddenly what happens are, all the vultures left the crow and reached towards the rat, the dead rat. That is a time that crow realized. He says, the crow went and perched on a branch of a tree, and he was panting for breath. Then he suddenly realized, all this while these vultures were chasing what? Not me. They are chasing only the dead rat actually. If I would have dropped the dead rat in the first time itself, I wouldn't have had this problem. He says, at least the crow is intelligent. You are not, he says. Why? What are we doing today? All the misery, all the problems, all the suffering that you are experiencing is what, sir? Attacking you. Why are they attacking you? Because you are carrying the dead rat, the dead weight. Dead weight of what? Attachment. Imagination. Your anxiety, worries, regrets, all these thoughts, all this things that is gone. You are still carrying that. As long as you are carrying that, the vultures will attack you. You can't escape. And we go to the spiritual gurus today. For what? A crow comes to a spiritual guru and pleads the spiritual guru for what? Teach me the skill of flying to escape the attack of the vultures. The guru says, drop the dead rat. No, I will keep the dead rat. Along with the dead rat carrying, if you can teach me to fly through and escape, teach me. Otherwise, forget it. And all this, most of the spiritual teachers today also have started feeding you on that. Started doing what? I will teach you the way to fulfill your desire. Of what? Along with the dead rat, how to escape the attack of the vultures. Now, even if you are Usain Bolt of Crow World, you cannot escape from the attack of the vultures. You will suffer, remember. You can't escape. However skillful you are, however you have mastered the art of flying, you can't escape from. It will come on you. It will take a heavy toll on your life. And the tragedy is what? We are still going only in the direction of what? I need little more from the world. I need little more skill. I need to get something. I need to get something is what you believe. You are never to understand it's a dead rat that you are carrying. Drop it. That dropping is called Vairagya. All that Vedanta is saying is, it is not asking you to drop the beauties of life. It says that carcass that you are carrying, drop it. No. We will say what? No. That's where the problem is. A Shishya is one who says, I am willing to drop it. But the problem is what? I don't have sufficient courage in me to drop. Tell me, how can I develop that courage? That's what the old grammarian is representative. He is the representative of all of us. That old man sitting and practicing this chanting of grammar rules. What is grammar, sir? Grammar of life, that's all. Rules of life. Trying to memorize all those things. Yes, no, that is not going to help you at all, then how should you go about, sir? What are you being holding on to? You are holding on to two things, says Bhajagovindam. Kanchana and Kamini. There are two things that you are holding on to. What is it, sir? Wealth and women. What is it that you are expecting from wealth? Acquisition, enjoyment. Through acquisition, what is happening, sir? Acquisition is not joy. That all of us know. Right? In acquisition, there is no joy. But then why are you acquiring them? Everybody knows. It is not that you need a special training to be teaching to be taught. You don't need a Mahatma to come and tell you there is no pleasure in acquisition. Everybody knows that. Earning is not an easy task. You got to struggle. You got to really work hard. You got to put your heart and soul to get. So it is not easy. You got to sweat a lot to earn anything. But then why you are doing that, sir? Wealth doesn't give any positive joy, but it gives you one thing, which is it gives you a sense of security. Remember, you have to understand what it can give, also what it cannot give. So first understand what it can give. What wealth can give is it does give you a sense of security. Now during this lockdown period, most of you did not panic. Why you did not panic? Those who have not panicked, why you did not panic? There is no big problem. Why? Because you are secured to get your things. Isn't it? What happened to all those daily laborers? Migrant laborers, what happened to those people? That 50 days is a hell for those people. 50 days is not easy for them to pass through. It's 50 days. For you and me, 50 days passing through is what? No big problem. Why? You are secured. Secured in the sense what, sir? Security against sorrow. Wealth does give you a sense of security. Against what, sir? Against sorrow. Sorrow it can remove. That is possible by wealth. It does that. You can't deny that. Okay. Then comes the enjoyment. Only through that contact of it you are getting that positive joy. The real joy is coming through the contact. But through the wealth what you are getting is only what? Your security against sorrow. If any eventuality comes, you would be able to take care of your medical bill. If you have wealth with you, what you can do, sir? You can take care of the medical bill, which is advantageous for you or advantageous for the hospital. It is mutual. But the suffering of the disease, how much ever wealth you have will not take care. Isn't it? You have a fracture, and after fracture you have to get up and walk. You mean to say if you are a multimillionaire, pain will be less? No. After fracture, you get up and walk. It is painful for anyone, irrespective of whether you are a multimillionaire or you are a billionaire or you are a pauper. Doesn't make any difference. That it will not give. But it can take care of one thing. What is it, sir? It can provide you a better chair. A wheelchair, you can get a better wheelchair. You can get a better walker. You can get a better more skilled physiotherapists can come and train you if you have wealth with you. But still, the pain that you have to go through is wealth will not take care. Same way here, remember. One aspect is acquisition will help you to take care of your insecurity. It will not give you joy. Whereas when you contact the sense objects, there you derive pleasure. Enjoyment will come. More we will see. When we get into the verses, we will see that. Okay. But I'm just giving you the general idea, because the central theme of entire Bhaja Govindam is only these two things. One is acquisition, another one is enjoyment. Now, to understand the lacuna, the defect, the dosha in these two things, and by repeatedly mulling over that again and again from different angles, is where you can cultivate vairagya. What we are not able to do on our own, Shankara is doing that on behalf of all of us. So when you study Bhaja Govindam, what will happen, sir? What will happen is you will start developing this vairagya, which most of us get scared of the word vairagya itself. Remember, vairagya is to drop the wrong notions, wrong ideas. Remember this. Follow me carefully now. Okay. What is the value of Maruti 800? There's a car, Maruti 800. And you have Honda City. And there is Mercedes Benz. 3 cars. How much you will pay for Maruti 800? 3.5, 4 lakhs. Road price, on road, fully loaded. Maruti 800 you can get for 4.5 lakhs. Right. Honda City, about 12 lakhs. Mercedes Benz, about 45 lakhs. So this is about 4.5 lakhs. This you get for 12 lakhs. This you get for 45 lakhs. This is the value. Okay. Now, 3 people buy those 3 cars. I'm taking this car. This is happening. This is taking 3 people. A, B, C have taken those 3 cars. Now, for that person, there is a value for that car. What is that? 2.5 lakhs or that 4.5 lakhs. Now, when he takes that car, along with that 4.5 lakhs, which is the value of the car, market value, external value, objective value. Along with that objective value, towards, on top of that objective value of that car, he adds something to it. He adds a value from his side, extra. When he adds that value to that car, that subjective value addition that you are giving to that objective value of the car, now it is not just 4.5 lakhs. Now what is it? That is why you ask anyone who gets a car, ask him for mileage. They say what? Everybody lies about mileage. How much? Yeah, it gives me 14 kilometers. It is giving only 11, but he will always say what? 14. For all of why they do that, sir? See, for every parent, they feel their child is very intelligent, isn't it? Right? Why? How is it possible? When the fellow brings the report card, when you see the report card, you can see clearly what is it. This fellow is unfit for, but still we will say what? No. Potentially he is always, potentially she is better than what she is appearing. That potential will always appear slightly more. You see, that slight extra value that I am adding, you see, which is not inherent to that object, inherent to that person, inherent to that experience. I am adding something to it. That experience is X, correct? Pleasure or pain. The tragedy is we will add something onto that. That extra addition that I am giving to that experience. Vairagya is to drop that. To drop that, first what is required? Viveka is required. What is Viveka, sir? He's going to explain that. What is Viveka? Beautiful definition for Viveka. What is spiritual? What is this classic definition he is giving in Bhajagovindam? More in detail we will see there. But understand today what we mean by Vairagya. You have to drop. What is it that you have to drop? Now many of us think Vairagya means I need to drop and leave that family and go away. I go to Rishikesh. All the South Indians will go to Rishikesh. All the North Indians will come to Tiruvannamalai. That's all. Now you go to Tiruvannamalai and live there. And you leave from here and go there. You leave this place and go somewhere. Now that is not Vairagya, please. Now we assume that to be Vairagya. Vairagya is not leaving a place. Then what is Vairagya, sir? Vairagya is my ability to drop the subjective value addition that I have given to the objects of the world, to the experiences from the world. My capacity to drop the subjective value addition, that extra that I have added, which is not inherent in that, which is not there. It's not there actually. Actual value is 4.5 lakhs. But once I buy that car, suddenly it starts appearing to me as though it is 7-8 lakhs worth. Suddenly it becomes such an important thing. The moment I look at a girl, marry her, suddenly that girl starts appearing as what? That extra that we are adding, you see, that addition is called attachment, that is called involvement. That is what you have to drop. How do you drop that? And you read Bhajagovindam, it will not be possible for you to hold on to it. Whether you want to drop, you don't want to drop, that is secondary. After Bhajagovindam, you cannot hold on to it. If not total dropping, at least that intensity will reduce here. That's the power of Bhajagovindam. This Upadesha, Shankara's instructions, this teaching is so powerful, so direct. That's why it is called as hammer, because it is so direct. Since he can afford to be direct, with whom? Because he is addressing the Sishyas, he can afford to be direct. You see, with outsiders, he will not be direct. Outsiders, what he will do, sir? He will start arguing with them, debating with them. The discussions will start. Why? Well, he is an outsider. What you have to do, sir? Lot of arguments comes into picture. Here, in that entire text, no arguments, nothing. He just goes on saying, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it. Now we have to derive. We have to sit and do what I said earlier. Through that process, through that viveka, through that reflection, through that thinking, automatically we will recognize the ground realities of life. We are yet to start Bhaj Govinda. Very interesting. In English, you will always say the object and then verb will come, isn't it? First is object and then verb. He drove, isn't it? The driving car will not come. The other way around. But in Sanskrit, you can do both. Both are correct in Sanskrit. Bhaja first. Then comes Govinda. Bhaja, Govinda. Bhaja, Govinda. Bhaja, Govinda. Govinda, Bhaja is not saying. Yes, Bhaja, Govinda. Bhaja, Govinda. Very interesting, the one. Now you will not find any of those things here. These arguments will not find. You will get only the things here. Now coming to the text, the first verse, which is a chorus verse. Now I'm just reading the verse. I'm not going to be chanting. I suppose all of you had that time to listen to Yama Subbalakshmi. Okay. So if you have not listened, listen again. Right. Very interesting one. She, way she sings. I'm not going to sing and all that. I'm not going to chant also. I'm just going to read it. That's all. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi rakshadi dukrankarane. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi rakshati dukrankarane. Seek the self. Seek the self. Seek the self, O foolish mind. At the destined time, mundane activity never indeed would save you. Beautiful verse. So direct, he gives. Seek the self. Bhaja Govindam. See, this Govinda, there's a pun in that word Govinda. Shankara's very popular and favorite name is Govinda. Because there are two things he packs in this word Govinda. In fact, Govinda is one of the very popular word of Krishna. See? And this is one name appears twice in Vishnu Sahasranama. In two places this Govinda appears. So one Nama appeared twice is this special name, Govinda. And Govinda he chooses of all the names of Krishna. First of all, why he is choosing Krishna is very interesting. Because Krishna is his family deity. Gopala is his family deity. Their family god. In our system, we have two gods always. In this bhakti, devotion, when you have to worshipping, they say you have to worship two gods always. One is called Kuladevam, another one is called Ishtadevam. There are people who take Ishtadevam, Kuladevam same. That is different. Say for example, for Rama, Kuladevam for Rama is Ranganatha. But Ishtadevam for Rama is Shiva. So wherever he went, Rama established only Shivalinga. And he worships Shiva. But the family deity, Kuladaivam of Ikshvaku Vamsa is that one is Ranganatha. That's how, for Vibhishana, Rama gives as a gift, return gift. Started from Ramayana time itself. After this war and all that, they all come back to Ayodhya for coronation. After the coronation is over, everybody is going back to their respective places. When everybody is going back, he has to give them gift. So to Vibhishana, he gives the gift. What he gives the gift, he says is, I am giving my family deity to you. Take him. That is the Ranganatha idol. He gives. That is what we see in Srirangam, in Tamil Nadu. In Srirangam, they have that Moolavar. That is the deity which was worshipped by Rama and his ancestors. All those people. For all of them, Ranganatha is their family deity. But Ishtadaivam is, for Rama, is Shiva. That's a different one. Same way, for Shankara, family deity is Gopala. So, most of the time he comes up, he will always use the word Govinda only. And also, there is a pun. You see, seek Govinda. First thing you have to do, if you say that I want to grow spiritually, the moment you utter that word, utter that idea, once that idea stuck in your mind that I have to grow in life, what you have to do, sir? He says, all that you have to do is only one. Seek Govinda. What is Govinda, sir? Govinda is the name of his Guru, Govinda Bhagavad Pada. So, it is not appropriate for the disciples, the Shishyas, to say the name of their Guru. It is a sin. They will not even utter. See, even when they go and speak to them also, they will not address him as you. In Sanskrit there are two. Hindi also I think it's the same thing. Tu and ap. Both means you. But there is a world of difference between the two. They will not even say that actually to the Guru. They don't even address. It's a very wrong thing to say. But Shankara finds a way to insert somewhere. Somehow he inserts it. He says what? Hey, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about this. But the name is same. But what he is referring to is, who is he referring to? That's where Shankara plays around beautifully here. He says, seek my Guru, man. Go to my Guru. He doesn't even say. Now we all know Shankara is considered as Jagat Guru. The first person to get the title Jagat Guru is Krishna. Even today, the moment we say Jagat Guru, we remind only of whom? Only of Shankara. That's how this person, Kanchi Acharya, was there, the senior one, passed away a few years back. The Acharya, when he took over, he wanted to go for Digvijayam, means they go around the country. They're supposed to do that. So when he was planning to move around, he had to visit Kashi. Now when he was going to Kashi, the news went to that place. Kashi, this person is coming to Kashi. And when he was coming there, they said, we don't accept him. We don't allow him to enter that city. They said. Objections were raised, not by this atheistic group and all that, not those people. That Kashi Pandits. The Kashi Pandits objected. Their objection is, how can you put this title Jagat Guru? Right. When we have not accepted you as Guru, how can you put yourself? You can't have a self-proclamation stating that I am Jagat Guru. We don't accept it. So ask him to remove that. Yes, sir. Now, this news came to this man. Oh, they told him, sir, this is the problem. We don't know what to do. He said, he gave one reply to them. He said, in Sanskrit, there are two nyasas there. Now, there are two ways of studying it. One way when you read Jagat Guru means derivation. Jagat Guru means the one who is Guru to the Jagat, to the world. The one who is the teacher of the world. There is another way. Another way is to whom the world is Guru. Right? There are two ways of seeing it. Beautiful interpretation. He says, we are carrying the Jagat Guru title not as teacher of the universe. No, not the world teacher. World as teacher. The one who takes the world as teacher is a beautiful one. When I just reminded of that instance, when I said Jagat Guru title, the Shankara is considered as Jagat Guru. He says, seek my Guru's padas. There. That's a Govinda Bhagavad Pada. Because the first thing Shankara sees of his Guru is the feet. Because when Shankara goes to this Omkareshwar place, this man is inside the cave, sitting and meditating. Shankara was waiting outside for 6 months. After 6 months, the fellow woke up from meditation. Woke up, they told, there is one boy had come, 8-year-old fellow who has come here and he is sitting outside, waiting for, wanting to take you as his Guru and wanting to accept you. Please accept him as your Shishya. And he asks him a question. Who are you? And he gives a reply to that. And then he is still inside the cave only. He did not come out. He just stretched his legs out. Govinda Bhagavad Pada. Shankara touched his feet and accepted. Thank you. I have been blessed to take. That's all. It says, seek the feet of the Lord, he said. The Bhagavad Pada. Do you realize in our God's forms, I'm just, Pada, when I say, feeling one thing, very interesting. Our Brahma has 4 heads. You know that, no? Brahma has 4 heads. Shiva has got 5 heads. See, Brahma also had 5 heads initially. Then he said, I am also having 5, you are also having 5. We are equal. That's the time Shiva said, he plucked 1 out of his head. Can't be equal. Now you are 4, I am 5. Then if you go to Subramanya, he has 6 heads. Okay? Has 6 heads. And you find all the gods having 4 hands. Subramanya, you go, he has 12 hands. North you go, Kali, she has 16. Now, 60 hands, so many items, all those things are there. But you see, all the gods have only 2 feet. Have you seen? Very interesting. See, when they visualized many heads, many hands, they could have visualized many feet also. They said, no. Feet is only 2. No matter how many heads you have, how many hands you have, we don't care about all that. Feet for all the gods are only 2. There. Beautiful visualization. Why they visualized it like that? What is the logic? They could have imagined. No, it's only imagination, isn't it? It's only visualization. If it is just a visualization, they could have visualized. Even Subramanya also they show, but they show hands only 12, but the feet is how much? Only 2 feet. Only 2. Chaturbhuja Vishnu, he has 4 hands, but feet is 2 only. Why? Very interesting one. That's how we think. You see, how we study is like that. More than Bhaj Govindam is just an excuse for us to trigger the thought process. That's about it. This is just a simple idea, but it demands a keen, observation. You see, you need to observe a lot. Only if you observe, you can pick up. Otherwise, you cannot. All this God says what, sir? See, all these manifestations have feet is where they stand. They stand on what? The truth stands on what, sir? The reality, Brahman. God is standing on what? God stands only on 2 things. Satyam, Dharmam. Only 2 are there. There is nothing more than that. That is why whenever we go and touch the feet. Why we go and touch the feet of anyone is your life is standing on what? Your life is to be established on what? Has to be standing on these 2 things. Righteousness and Dharma. The Satyam and Dharma. Or Jnanam and Dharma. Whatever. Now you can interpret. Now you can say what, sir? 2 things they are established on. What is it? Viveka and Vairagya. Bhaj Govindam context, what do we say, sir? In Bhaj Govindam context, we will say 1 feet is Viveka, another feet is Vairagya. You are standing on this 2. This life is standing on what? Right now you are standing upside down. You are taking Artha Kama to be life. No. Then what is it, sir? Dharma Moksha should be the life. Then you are standing. We are standing on the feet of what? Artha Kama. The Guru is standing on the feet of what? Dharma Moksha. Now we surrender to him. This seek Govinda. Bhaja. The word Bhaj, it is derived from the root Bhaj. Bhaja is derived from the root Bhaj, means to worship, to seek, to think, to know, to love. So Bhaj means to worship. All put together is called that one word, that dhatu, root. In Sanskrit, every word has a root, and then it takes very many forms. You see, it will take many forms. Now, this word bhaja essentially means seva. Bhaj means that. Means your ability to remember continuously. Worshipping God, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he says, what is worshipping God? He says, all that it means is continuous remembrance of God. It is called worshipping God. Now, worshipping God is not just going to the temple and, offering flowers and, doing, namaskara there and those things. That is part of it. That is not the essential part of it. It's the way you express it. That doesn't mean you are. It's like when you love someone, you will say, I love you. That doesn't mean whenever you say, I love you, there is love. If that is the case, then there will be a chaos in the entertainment industry, in the film industry. What? In one movie, that fellow is a mother. Another movie, she is acting as sister. Another movie, she is acting. That's what we saw. You know, this lady, Srividya. We have an actress, Srividya. And Rajinikanth. Actor Rajinikanth. This lady, Srividya, acted as wife, Rajinikanth. Acted as elder sister, Rajinikanth hero. Acted as mother-in-law. Acted as mother also. I think next movie she will be grandmother, I think. You see. And Rajinikanth is still same hero only. That will not change. Rajinikanth will not, compromise. What is interesting is, now imagine if she is wife to Rajinikanth, then how can she become sister? If she is sister, how can she become? No, that just expression. Remember, there is no meaning in that. When they say, I love you, I hate you, they neither love nor hate. You see? But whenever you love, you will say, I love you. That doesn't mean whenever there is I love you statement, there is love. So he says, Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, when you are saying that I am worshipping means what? Your ability to remember God continuously. Uninterrupted, remembrance. That's what Krishna says in the Gita. Ananya Chinta, he says. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, he says. Continuous remember. No other thought. Ananya Chinta. Your ability to maintain that is called worshipping God. Bhaj also means what? Seek Him. Now, that's what in the translation we have taken. Seek. It includes seeking also. It includes know, think, love, thinking at the intellectual level, loving at the emotional level. At the emotional level, you love. At the intellectual level, you think. In both the cases, you are moving in the direction, you are wanting that. That's called seeking. You are wanting to have it. So we are just using the word seeking here. Seek. What you have to seek? He says, Bhaja Govindam. Govindam we have seen. One is Krishna. One. Another one is Guru. But essentially, it doesn't mean both actually. It means the third thing. These two things are expressions. What is hidden? I told you, there are 3 layers for flower. One is the beauty. Second one, fragrance. Third one, honey. There are 3 ways, 3 angles in which we can take. Same way, here we take it as what? Govinda is, again we go to the root. Go means what, sir? Means the substratum. Go means that which is essentially to be known through the Vedas. What is to be known through the Vedas? Through Vedanta, the self. Atman, Brahman, God. Therefore, Bhaja Govindam means seek the self. Now what you have to do? Straight away he says, what you have to do is told already. So never ask this question, sir, okay, now Shankara, what he wants us to do? Don't ask that question. Why? Because in the first word itself he had stated, seek. What? Govinda. I can't seek the self. Then seek the Guru. I don't know. At least seek Vishnu or Krishna, God. So either all three you can do. So what you have to do, sir? Through seeking that Guru, you get the blessings of the Lord, so that you will get this mukshatva fed in you and you will be able to seek the self. Understood all that is. All this three is understood here from this one word. Seek Govinda. Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam. Govindam Bhaja. Now we're just changing. It's a same thing. In Sanskrit, you can say that this way or you can say that way also. Both are correct. Right. Ate he ate. In English, you can't say that, but in Sanskrit, you can say. See? But here, that's why it is changing. So what he is saying, seek Govinda, seek Govinda, seek Govinda. Why he is saying 3 times? The effort of seeking can be at 3 different layers of your personality. 3 aspects, 3 dimensions of your personality. That is, seek him through your actions. Seek the self through your emotions. Seek the self through your thoughts. Physical, emotional, intellectual. Physical, mental, intellectual. At all 3 levels, what you have to do? Seek Govinda. Seek Govinda. Seek Govinda. This is the first line. 75% of first line. Then he comes up with the bombshell. Mudamade, he says. A fool, he says. Idiot. Oh, stupid. Now you'll be getting annoyed really, actually, if you understand. When you say Mudamade, you don't get anything. Yeah, okay, then walk out. When you say, oh, idiot. Imagine somebody calls you a fool. What will you do? Huh? Obviously, you will get annoyed, no, that fellow. Yeah. A fascinating one. Yes. What he is meaning there is something beautiful it is. To think on that. Now, to me, more than the seek Govinda, what inspires me in that line is this one word. Mudamate. Food. What amount of courage you see, you got to imagine. Shankara is only about 22-year-old, okay, around that time. Because at the age of 16 only he went there. Right. After his, this one and all that education is over and all that, he went there. And at best I'm talking about 22 is at the maximum. This thing we don't know when this must have happened. It happened before, much before all those things. He must have been only around 18 or 20-year-old fellow. 20-year-old boy walking, and he is looking at one old man chanting, reciting this grammar, and he is calling that fellow fool. How he would have felt? How irritated would have been, Fortunately, because he was in sannyasi dress. Therefore, that fellow would have left him. Otherwise, would have been beaten black and blue. Oh, fool. Yes. Beautiful one. It's really, musical. I really like, Shankara calling us fool is very interesting. Seek the self. Seek the self. Oh, foolish mind. Now, in the translation, Swamiji has really, made it very polite because he is very refined, He's cultured. The culture of him doesn't, that aristocratic culture doesn't allow him to, say, I don't have that problem. I can say directly. Means, oh, idiot. That's what it means actually. But he puts it, very politely. He says, oh, foolish mind. When you read that, you don't even feel anything. You feel, okay. But when you say, oh, idiot, seek the self, you idiot. What is it? It's beautiful that is. Samprapte sannihite kale. Samprapte. Praptam means what you have gained. Praptam is what you get. Sampraptam means what you have got very well. Well established, well achieved, well learned. Whatever you have gained, maximum, well deserved, worked, beautiful. Now you can't point any flaw in that. He says, will be of no use to you. Sannihite kale, he says. Well determined kala. Well determined kala is what? Death. At the time of death, whatever you have earned very well. Now we have to study that also. What is it that we have earned very well? Will be of no use. And why he is talking about death suddenly now? From nowhere. See? Very interesting. We'll see that in the next class.